Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 8, The Reunion, Part 2. So let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. Reunions. It's just like going over stuff that we've already talked about. This ain't gonna be long. I promise you it's not today. I gotta hurry up. I got a doctor's appointment. They start with the fight between Porsha and Cynthia on the boat. How, everybody was bitches until it was the end of the day, and people had been drinking way too much. Next thing you know, Cynthia had to kick Porsha in the pussy. And it started off where Cynthia said that she did overreact and that she apologized to Porsha for what she did. And Porsha was admitting to what she did. But as the questions started to come in and as everybody started to have their comments about what happened between Cynthia and Porsha, all of a sudden everybody was irritated. Everybody was annoyed. Then it started to be, well, I didn't think that I did anything to, warrant all of that. And then it was like, I didn't do all that bruising, which Cynthia didn't do all that bruising to Porsha. But I mean, she did kick her in the stomach, and evidently there was some cuts from, whatever. But it was just like, I don't know, it was sort of like they they showed these clips out of order because why was everybody so mad? I mean, Cynthia was sitting up there like she had a stick up her ass. Everybody seemed like they was real pissed off in different faces and everything. I was like, something happened. They editing this show really strangely. They asked the other girls what they think about the fight. Sheree said that she didn't expect it to blow up the way that it did. Candy said maybe it is their fault that they told Porsha that she needed to go and talk to Cynthia when it was still really way too turned up. The block was too fucking hot to be trying to rationalize with somebody. And Kim said she never saw anything like it. Like, these ghetto ass bitches, okay? Bring a bitch to tears around here, okay? She was crying, remember? Of course, Kenya was jumping in and, saying how Porsha, is always physical and all of that. Porsha is telling her to stay out of it. Shut up, Kenya. And then Kenya says, well, why don't we talk about how you always violent, how you beat up your assistant the other day. Then Porsha was like, well, let's talk about how you seeing the one-eyed, African married man. They arguing back and forth between that. I was just like, who cares about a married African one-eyed man? Who cares about who Porsha beat? I was just like, what? The whole thing went on way too long. They talked about this fight too long, and I think it was because they knew that everybody was getting madder and madder. Drama creates good TV, and Andy is the messiest of them all. So he let them just go on and argue. But to me, it seemed like Cynthia was just like, well, it wasn't all that. It wasn't all on me this time. Did anybody else get that impression? Then we talk about Kenya and her mom, okay? And, we already know that story. Kenya didn't get love from her mother, as everybody wants to say now, and that's why she acts the way that she does. Kenya herself says that that's not the reason that she acts the way she does. She said that she's the apple of her father's eye, okay? To him, she walks on water, okay? I was like, them motherfucking feet still crusty. Why did nobody even pick up on that read? But Porsha was just saying, like, I just said that because I feel like Kenya always goes way out of her way to be mean and nasty. And maybe it's because she didn't receive any love. And Kenya was like, no, I received a lot of love. I just didn't receive love from my mother. Well, I guess we all would like to say that love from your mother is different than, love from anybody else. At least that's what all of us pseudo psychologists want to say, because y'all in my comments, everybody keep on saying, hurt people. The psychobabble. She didn't receive love. I mean, it's a lot of people who didn't receive love from their mother who turned out to be different than Kenya. So I don't know I'm not saying that it doesn't happen and that it's not, but I don't like people to just constantly say, okay, well, Kenya can act a plumb fucking fool all the time whenever she wants to. Okay, and it's because of that. So now we give her a pass all the time? Like, no. But anyway, the situation with her and her mom is fucked up. Okay, when they talked to her about the People magazine thing, and she did try to explain her way out of it, it didn't make sense to me because it seemed like simple enough. The lady tried to reach out to you regardless of the fact that it might be because you just won and maybe now the lady was jumping on the bandwagon. If Kenya felt that she didn't want to talk to the mama then you know what, that's it. What it was, they got a lot of bad history there already. But now, 20 years later to say, no, that's not what happened. Okay, and she was trying to explain that people had, contacted the mom and then the mom told her to. I was just like, what? None of that made sense. Okay, what it seems like is them two have gone back and forth of trying to get in touch with each other or talk to each other, and the shit has just never gone well. I still feel the way that Auntie Cisco felt. If the lady doesn't want to have the relationship, then she doesn't need to have the relationship. I know a lot of people feel differently about that, but That's just what it is to me. Then we get on Peter and Cynthia's marital problems. Okay, we already know in real life today they are separated. I guess they're not calling it a separation, but they're saying that they're in a bad place. Peter stays in Charlotte. She stays here in Atlanta. She's talking about moving to Los Angeles now to pursue acting, because you guys see that she's going to be in Sharknado. You know how they have that camp, that Camp Cult classic on when they have Shark Week on Animal Planet, or whatever the station is, Discovery or Animal Planet or whatever. I was like, bitch, don't base everything on this one role in Sharknado. But she says she's one of those types that could just pick up and go. So this might not be a bad idea for her, I guess. But anyway, on the show, again, he's in Charlotte, she's in Atlanta. Andy was like, that kind of sounds like you're separated. And they're like, yeah, well, no, it's not really separation. I mean, we still talking, and we still, try to get together every now and again. I was like, yeah, that is separation. Not legally, but that's what it is. They talk about the video. They asked Peter, did he feel like he was guilty? He said he looked guilty, yes, but no, he was not cheating. He loves his wife. He hasn't done anything. Then they bring Porsha into it. Porsha saying that she's not trying to give all his business out, and blow the whistle on him. He was like, listen, I want you to. Please throw me under the bus. Provide all these women. Cynthia was like, if there was a woman around, she would have presented herself by now. Peter was just like, tell me what the woman is. Porsha, I was just like, how hard is it for you to say this person, this person, this person, and this person? I just, to keep on giving the threat when he's obviously giving you carte blanche to say who the bitch is. If I'm fucking around and say, I honestly don't believe Peter is fucking around like that. Okay, just any old 19, 20. Do you know how many messy 19, 20-year-olds are out here in Atlanta? Them bitches would have been told. So I don't think that that's what it is. And I think Porsha has heard some things. And, Porsha still got her irritation with Peter because of Cordell and going into business with Cordell, and Cordell telling them some shit about Porsha, and maybe Peter putting some shit out on the streets about Porsha. But unless you're going to provide names, like I'm with Cynthia and Peter in this case. Okay, if you're not going to say who the fuck it is, then shut up about it. Phaedra gets a little dose of I told you so when Andy asked her, did you understand what Cynthia was going through, and Cynthia said, I definitely regret, saying some things about Phaedra's marriage last season, because obviously now the shoe is on the other foot. Now I'm in the hot water. Now that I am the wife that's having the problems with the husband, yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Phaedra's just like, yeah. Speaking of Phaedra, you guys, I think I'm going to have to pull back my best dress from Porsha to Phaedra. I was looking at Phaedra's dress yesterday. It is beautiful, you guys. It's beautiful. It's like a muted sequin up at the top, and then it kind of evolves into some larger petals on the bottom, but like a very nice copper. I still need to see it standing up, but just her sitting there, I was like, oh, that is beautiful, you guys. It just looks nice on her. Like I said, everybody is real tense. Everybody is real annoyed. Okay, people got a lot of slick shit to say, arguing between Kenya and Porsha pretty much the whole entire time. So, we bring Aiden out, okay, and he's cute, and he breaks up all of this fucking irritation, and so they let him come out for a few minutes. I was just like, okay, everybody can get their footing back. But the happiness doesn't last too long. Now it's time to talk about Phaedra and her marital issues. Her taking the kids to prison, and the fact that Apollo doesn't want to be divorced. Phaedra made it a point to say, yes, it will definitely happen. I have a feeling that Phaedra's already seeing somebody. I already told you guys that, and that she's just waiting until her divorce is final, and then she's gonna pull a Israel Houghton and be on the beach with the nigga. Very adamant that, she took the damn kids down there to the jail, and everybody should be happy now, okay? While she was down there, there was some masturbation going on, and the kids wanted to know what all that was about. I said, bitch, you's a motherfucking lie. Ain't nobody 3-4 years old even gonna pay attention to that. They wouldn't even, unless these motherfuckers was really getting it in, which I doubt they're doing if they're at a damn prison where there's security walking around and watching and looking, okay? But if you're just somebody over there, just slick trying to do a real quick hand job, these damn kids ain't gonna understand what the hell that is, Porsha. Phaedra, that was on you. So stop it with the dramatics. But whatever. She said, that she took them. They saw their dad. Now everybody can get out of her business, because if you don't pay her bills and you don't tell her what to do, okay, she can do whatever she want to do. Everybody can get out of her business. I was just like, okay. All right. They asked her who exactly was she talking about. Well, we know she's talking about Candy. Candy. Well, she came at me, so now I have to defend myself. Candy's whole thing is it's not good for Phaedra to want to shield the kids from Apollo. I just thought that it was sad that when they came home that Dylan didn't even know who their daddy was. Listen, I know that Candy means well. Okay, sometimes we have friends that always want to give their opinion no matter what. But sometimes you just have to back off. There is a difference of opinion. I don't want to raise my kids this way, and you raise your kids that way, and let's just agree to disagree. Okay, but now we done fucked up a whole friendship over somebody else who's in jail. Okay, Candy is a little bit too concerned about Phaedra and her children. You know, Candy, I can't tell you everything you want to hear, how you want to hear it, Phaedra. That means don't say shit. Mind your business, Candy. Because unless people ask you your opinion, you know, it's not necessary. It's not needed. We adults, and like Phaedra says, she pays her own bills. I'm not asking you for help. I'm not asking you for money or nothing. So what I need to do is what I need to do, and what you need to do is stay out of it. It's because they're never going to see eye to eye on this. Yes, when Apollo gets out of jail, that's going to be a new set of problems. Them kids are going to be right at the age where they're not going to, you know, they're not going to want to really take to Apollo. It's going to be hard. There's going to be another man in the picture, obviously. It might be more kids in the picture. It's going to be a whole lot of other shit. But let Phaedra worry about that. You don't have to worry about that because it's not on you. It's not your life. It's not your kids. It's not your man. It's not none of that is yours. So that's just it on Candy and Phaedra. Keep on telling y'all this relationship is done. Y'all just keep on trying to make them two be friends. And then lastly, we talk about Porsha, you know, and her, me, and Oliver and Dookie.
I don't mess with Dookie no more, but I talk to Oliver all the time. I just talked to him yesterday when I was in Los Angeles for Apprentice.
Y'all remember she's going to be on Celebrity Apprentice with Arnold Schwarzenegger now that Donald Trump is trying to run the fucking world. Then we get on the altercation between Miley the Amazon, her nephew, Kenya, Candy, all of that. My position is still the same as it was back then. Okay, the nigga was out of line. Yes, Kenya did step in when she didn't need to, but the bottom line is that motherfucker was saying some crazy ass shit, and I don't know why the girls either it was the editing made it look like he was way more aggressive to us, because I don't understand how almost the girls all see it one way and then Candy and, you know, Kenya see it another way. Like, what happened here? Why is it that we missing something? Because to all of us, it looked like the nigga was aggressive. To them, it didn't seem like he was. But we, you know, maybe they wasn't hearing him say all the shit. But even after they saw the episode, they still felt like he wasn't all that aggressive. I would have been like, this motherfucker gotta go. So in this one case, I was on Candy and Kenya's side. He was tripping. Yeah, I was still fine with the nigga. He needed to go. So they all start telling Kenya that she liked him, and that was the reason why she was mad at him. You know, Phaedra was like, you the one invited him. And then when the nigga didn't want to be with you, he didn't want to talk to you, he, you know, didn't come on to your advances, then all of a sudden it was something else. Still, I don't think that was the reason why she felt the way that she did. I just felt like he was tripping. Kenya said she didn't like the boy. Everybody always want to make it seem like she wanted him and all of that, and that's not what it was, that he got all these problems with the NBA and pulling guns on people and shooting people in T.I.'s restaurant parking lot out here and all of that. So I don't know, you guys. What? Did you guys change your mind? Do you feel like Kenya was the one at fault for making, I think they said poking the bear? What do you guys think? I still feel the same on that situation. And then that's pretty much it, you guys. Next week, Nene will be there. The men will be on there, so we'll see if we can get some excitement out of the show next week. But yeah, yesterday was like everybody just had an attitude. Everybody's face was funky, just stuffed up, mad. You know, so I'm glad this show is over, though. One more week, y'all. All right, you guys, so let me get off of here. Still got to do Potomac. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.